Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Angel Guidance Message. I'm Ramona Remisat, Intuitive Guidance Coach, Angel Therapy Practitioner. Hope you're having a great morning so far. It is Thursday, January 24th, and we're flying by through this month. It is crazy. If you've been feeling kind of weird or off or drained, just know that at the end of this month, on the 31st, we're going to have quite an event. There's going to be a second full moon of the month, which is a blue moon. It's also a super moon, meaning it's actually appearing a little bit closer to Earth, so it'll be really big in the sky, and it's also going to be a lunar eclipse. So a lot of people have been kind of wondering what is going on. I'm starting to feel all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, that's why, because all this stuff is happening in the heavens, and get ready. It's only going to ramp up between now and when it actually occurs, January the 31st. But for today's reading, I wanted to work with the Archangel Raphael healing cards and do a bit of a health or a check-in just to see what's going on health-wise for people, what you might need to focus on. And if you have any concerns about physical healing, emotional or spiritual healing, Archangel Raphael is the angel for that. And as you can see on this box, his color is this beautiful emerald green. So if you're working with him, as you work with him, you can imagine you're taking in that emerald green light and sending it in through your body wherever it needs. Hi, good morning, Mandy. Nice to have you here. As people come in, feel free to let me know who's watching. And I just kind of laughed when this card popped up this morning. It's all about your sleep, right? It says good night sleep, but not a lot of you are getting a good night's sleep, and we are sacrificing sleep, right? It's kind of like almost this badge of honor when you have a discussion with somebody. It's like, oh, I only had 5 hours of sleep, and they're like, oh, I only had 4, and it's like almost this competition, right? And it's kind of ridiculous because as we know, being well rested is important for everything. You can't function. People think they can function normally, but they're not. They're more snappy, they're more emotional, right? If you haven't had a good sleep, you can just kind of stub your toe and burst into tears, right? It's, really so important for everything. And you know that now because almost every single wellness health magazine, you can't pick up a magazine without seeing some kind of article in there about sleep. Hi, Linda. Good morning. Nice to have you here. So it's really, 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 really important. Now it's saying you can call on Archangel Raphael to ask for good sleep, ask for a relaxing, deep sleep. I always say I want a restorative sleep. I want to make sure I wake up and I feel like I've rested, that I'm not groggy in the morning, that I'm not, feeling tired when I wake up. So I always say, please give me thank you guys for the hearts and the thumbs up. Please give me, a deep restorative sleep so that I can wake up feeling good. And I always also call on Archangel Michael every night before I go to bed. And I ask him again just to protect us all while we're sleeping, protect our home, all of that. And that just gives you that, that comfort level, feeling like, okay, I can go to sleep now. Like the guards are up, right? Like my whole house is surrounded and I don't have to worry. All the angels are there watching over me, protecting me while me and my family sleep, and we can have that deep restorative sleep. A couple other things about sleep that are really important, and you probably know some of this stuff, but it's worth, they're telling me I have to kind of share it with you. You want to have an environment that is conducive to sleep. So your bedroom should not be your office and like all these other things, right? It should be just specifically for sleeping. You don't want to have clutter in there. You don't want to have computer equipment in there. It really is not a good idea to have a TV or any electronics in your bedroom at all, because all of those emit vibrations, right? They are emitting frequencies that can actually interfere with your sleep. So take them out. Like, you don't have to have a phone beside you. These people who are sleeping with their cell phones practically like right in their hand, you don't need it. If you're using it as an alarm clock, I would suggest going back to just a regular alarm clock, or even if you have a Fitbit, this is how I wake up. This just vibrates gently on my wrist and it wakes me up. And it's way better than the like, who wants to hear that first thing in the morning, right? Or you can buy some of those other, I think like those noise machines and set an alarm with those so like you wake up to something more gentle. They're really urging you to kind of have that scenario, right? Waking up to something more gentle, like the sound of the ocean, or, and it gradually gets louder and louder until you kind of wake up. So maybe it's time to look at some other options. But yeah, electronics, really not great to have in a bedroom or sleeping environment. If you have to have it in there, cover it up at night. Same thing goes for any mirrors. If you have a big mirror, mirrored surfaces, cover them up. And it sounds kooky, but here's the thing, here's the reason for this. If you've heard of feng shui, the idea is energy wants to move freely through your space, right? It doesn't want to get stuck in areas and then that becomes stagnant. It gets kind of stuck there. So you want to have energy moving. But if you have electronics or mirrors in your bedroom, it creates a really active environment that the energy, it's just like ricocheting, pinging all around, ping, 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 going all over the place. And if you can't sleep well, or you wake up in the night and you're like wired and you can't fall back to sleep, that can be because of it. If you're very sensitive to energy, you will sometimes be impacted by that. So, and the full moons. So here we are, we're coming up to the full moon, like I said. So you might notice your sleep patterns change too when it's a full moon, and that it keeps you awake, or you wake up in the night and then you can't fall back to sleep, those kinds of things. But yeah, mirrored surfaces are a no-no, electronics are a no-no, and clutter under your bed is a no-no. Again, the energy can't flow through there, can't move. It's getting stuck right underneath where you're sleeping. So if you have any junk under there, get rid of it. Find some other storage solution, but don't have stuff under your bed. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It looks like it. I'm getting some hearts and some thumbs up. I'm glad that that's feeling helpful, you guys. So yeah, remember to call on your angels to help with sleep, so you can work with Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael, like I said. And then those extra things. Oh, thank you guys for the thumbs up. I'm so happy that this is helpful. Like I said, don't have stuff under your bed. If you have electronics in there, try to get them out of there. Same thing for mirrors, or if you have to have them in there, just take a big sheet or something like that to cover them up so you're not sleeping in such an active environment. Some people also like crystals in their room. Be careful, because if you are sensitive, those can also impact your ability to sleep well, especially if you have them on your night table, or some people even tuck them into their pillowcase. And you'll just have to, that's something you have to practice with and just see which ones are okay, which ones aren't okay. But if you're uber sensitive, then I would say just maybe leave them out overall. But there are some good crystals that do help with sleep too. So maybe I'll have to do a separate live about that. And that's actually, I think, the second time that that's come up this week. So I better write that down so I don't forget, and share that with you, because it can really help, especially if you want to remember your dreams and have dream recall and things like that. There's some crystals to help with that. So yeah, maybe we'll do that on another time. But yeah, so really think about sleep. It is so pivotal. We're worried about what we're eating, and we're worried about, taking supplements, and we're worried about making sure we're exercising, and we're doing all these things to our body, but then we're chimping out on our sleep, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're getting your solid, 7.5, 8 hours of sleep to feel refreshed, refueled. And if you want guidance, guess what? That's part of it too. People are saying, I want to have that clear communication with my spiritual team, and I really want to be able to hear that guidance when it comes in so that I can take action on it. But if you're compromising your sleep, that's going to also compromise your ability to really clearly hear that guidance, right? Makes sense, right? So think about that. So, you're doing yourself more harm by trying to fit more in, and chances are, this is the thing, okay? I'm going to say it like it is, because, I have to. People are like, oh, I'm so busy, I can't get everything done that I need to do in the span of a day. And really, they're cutting back on their sleep in order to fit everything in. Excuse me. But how much time are you spending on social media? How much time are you spending in front of the television? How much time are you goofing around doing other stuff? Like, really? So, these people who are saying they have no time, I don't believe it. I'm calling bullshit on that one. Sorry. Like I said, I have to say it like it is, right? So chances are you have time. And if you keep telling yourself, I never have enough time, you're affirming it. So you should be saying, I have more than enough time to do everything that I need to do to get it all done, right? There you go. So That's it. You can work with the affirmation too. I have more than enough time to do everything that I need to do today, instead of constantly telling yourself, I'm running out of time, I'm running out of time, and affirming that. Okay? So there's that was a little bonus tip to the whole thing. So there you guys go. Have a fabulous day. Use your time wisely and try to get yourself into a healthy sleep routine. Go to bed at the same time every day, get up at the same time every day. You know, you've heard this stuff before, and it's not mumbo jumbo. It actually helps. So make a commitment to it, guys, and follow through. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. Have a fabulous day, and I'll be back tomorrow with the Daily Angel Guidance message. Till then, have a wonderful day.